Inside the raid that shook Omaha, who's really to blame? In a dramatic display of federal enforcement power, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, agents raided a meatpacking facility in Omaha, Nebraska this week, detaining dozens of workers suspected of being in the country without legal authorization. Officials are calling it the largest workplace immigration raid in Nebraska since the Trump administration. According to U.S. Representative Don Bacon, between 75 and 80 individuals were taken into custody during the operation at Glen Valley Foods, a meat processing company located in Omaha. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, confirmed the raid and described it as part of an ongoing criminal investigation into the alleged use of fraudulent documents for employment. Surprise raid, tense fallout, the company claims it was blindsided. In a statement, Glen Valley Foods said it had fully complied with immigration verification protocols, including the federally Verify system, which checks employment eligibility based on government records. Company president Chad Hartman expressed frustration, telling Reuters that when he informed an ICE agent about their use of E-Verify, the agent simply responded, "The system is broken," and advised him to contact his congressional representative. Despite prior notification to local law enforcement, the company asserts it received no warning ahead of the raid, targeting a vulnerable workforce. The ICE action is part of a broader push by the federal government to crack down on unauthorized employment. Under the renewed direction from Washington, ICE has recently intensified its operations nationwide. Similar raids in recent weeks have taken place at Home Depot stores, garment factories, and distribution warehouses across the country, all of which have triggered protests and heightened tensions, especially in immigrant communities. Federal agents say the operation at Glen Valley Foods was supported by a warrant identifying 107 workers suspected of using forged documents. No injuries were reported during the raid. ICE told ABC News that the raid was part of an ongoing criminal investigation into the large-scale employment of foreign nationals not authorized to work in the U.S., labor, ethics, and social consequences. According to the Center for Economic and Policy Research, more than 50% of U.S. meatpacking workers are immigrants, many of them from Latin America and Southeast Asia. The sector is notorious for harsh working conditions, low wages, and high turnover rates, making it heavily reliant on undocumented labor to meet production demands. Civil rights advocates, including the ACLU of Nebraska, swiftly condemned the operation. Critics argue that such raids disproportionately target vulnerable communities while ignoring the systemic economic forces that create demand for undocumented labor. These raids don't fix the system. They just terrorize families and destabilize our communities, said a spokesperson from the ACLU. Beyond the headlines, this raid exposes deeper fractures in America's immigration and labor systems, where economic dependency collides with political enforcement. It also raises questions about the efficacy of federal tools like E-Verify, and the ethics of punishing workers rather than the corporations that benefit from their labor. Conclusion: a system under strain. The Omaha raid is not just about immigration status, it's a case study in the contradictions of U.S. labor and immigration policy. While politicians call for law and order, industries continue to depend on undocumented workers to function. As protests erupt and investigations unfold, one thing is clear: this is far from a local issue. It's a flashpoint in a national debate with no easy answers.